above yourself. You're dealing with eternal forces that are the essence of creation, the essence of God. Then you only have a positive, a negative, a front to back, or up and down, positive, negative. God and devil make a choice to go towards the light. And if you get this attitude, if you're positive and you have faith in you, I guarantee you that you may call it the secret, okay? It will come to pass. I remember when I arrived in the United States in 1984, I was so scared. I had no money. I had no credit card, no social security. I was an illegal alien, no food, no friends. This is how Dr. Turi arrived in this country in 1984. But I knew I had to touch the ground of this great country after the new moon. And I knew I had to use one of my dragon window dates. And I turned everything around me into pure gold. I have reached emotional, financial, and spiritual stability. I have the best toys, the best tools, a wonderful, loving, respectful, smart wife, wonderful dog, an incredible life, and a hell of a lot of good followers. And I don't know why, if you have just a bit of common sense, why you should not follow my footsteps. Instead of challenging me, try to understand me. Then, if you're ready for me, then I'll be there for you. That's how it works.
Sounds awesome. It sounds like the power of attraction and manifestation.
Exactly, and that's why you are part of this great discussion today, because somewhere, somehow, the depth of your thoughts to participate or to have a position as a spiritual leader is already manifesting where you are at in time and space. Now you have other wishes, you have other expectation. I guarantee you that if you keep your mind positive and if you don't feed evil and if you don't doubt, okay, don't ask how or don't ask when. Do not put a date. Don't say, in 2 months I'm going to be there, or next year I'm going to have that. No, don't do that to yourself. Okay? You're going against the laws. Just have total faith. Okay? Like I had, once I received, when I had the cancer, and I received, oh my gosh, so many blessings from people all over the world, and my wife and we could not keep up with the good wishes that I received. I felt that energy. Well, let me tell you something else, and that is really going to get the point across. I was 18 years old, and in France, it's the law. You have to do your time on the army, and I was about 300 miles away from home, and I was in the cantina with all the other soldiers waiting for my orientation to know if I'm going to be working on the Navy, the Army, or the Air Force. I was there with all the kids. I was drinking beer. I was smoking cigarettes. I was laughing my head off. I was with a bunch of new kids about to service my country in France. I was 18 years old. And then all of a sudden, I did not know what came upon myself. I could not help my tears pouring out of my eyes. But that's not me. I'm the most happy man in the world. I'm joking all the time. What the hell, again, excuse my French, it's happening to me, to the point where I didn't want to cry in front of the other soldier. So I ran off in the bathroom, and as soon as I closed the door, I could not stop crying. Why? Then I heard my name through the speakers. Soldier Turi, report immediately to the captain office. And I will never forget this call through the speakers. I went to the office, and there was the captain with a telephone in his hand. He looked at me and he said, "Son, you're here to become a man." He says, "Your brother is on the phone. He wants to talk to you. Be strong." That's all he said. And I already knew, oh my God. My older brother Joe was trying everything he could not to cry, saying to me, "Louis, you have been released. You have to come home. Vince is dead. Vincent was 16 years old, born with the moon in Scorpio, death, with a dragon's tail in Leo, short life, and he died killed by a drunk driver. Which means 300 miles away, my entire family was crying. My mother was sedated. My brothers, 7 of them, was crying and screaming. All the neighbors and all the family were in that bedroom looking at Vince dead with bandage to hold his brain. I came a few hours later. They put me in the train with 3 other soldiers because they wanted to make sure I didn't do anything bad to me because I was going crazy. And I realized many, many years later the power of the thought. When I said to you the future is the reincarnation of the thought, and there is magic behind your thought, and thought do alter matter, that's where I'm referring at when I talk about the supraconscious in time and space. And many times before my younger brother died, he was saying to me, one less day to live, Louis. Less day to live. And I used to say, what's going on into you, brother? Why do you say that every day? You pee me off. But he subconsciously felt that he was not going to be around for long. And I refused it. And 300 miles away, I knew he was dead before I received the call. And that's why sometimes you can know when the telephone is ringing that somebody is going to call you before the telephone rings. You need to tap on that source of power. You need to develop that perception. You need to understand that you're not alone. You have an incredible power above you. You have God watching you, if I may use those words. And if you're smart enough, if you ask enough, if you're curious enough, and if you work hard enough, you will be allowed to enter this extraordinary realm of superconsciousness and make a good use of the power at your advantage like I did. I hope that answered your question.
Absolutely. I'd love to go on about it, but I need to ask another question before Jules hits me over the head. Can you please give us a few of your predictions for 2012?
Well, basically there will be a connection with the incredible. Technology will not be, even though that we are pretty close to 12, there will be some very, very supreme development as far as technology is concerned. We will be very close to finally kill cancer. We will be also very well prepared with documentation that was hidden from the mass about the reality of extraterrestrials. And you have to remember, extraterrestrials cannot give you a toy or a tool to bring on this dense physical manifestation because of antimatter. If you dwell with extraterrestrials, they're going to give you a psychic or a spiritual gift. And as far as I'm concerned, this is a very solid legacy that I earned from them, put it this way. So as far as 2012 predictions, I can see also the U.S. economy. I see more and more corporations getting together and rebuilding that economy to where America is set by God to be, which means the top leading country in the world, just because America was born with the head of the dragon in Leo, in the second house of money on top of that. So the economy is going to be revived. Tremendous action in the world of investment in large corporation. Many banks will be giving money like never before. I'm telling you, I see much more positivity in the near future, to the point where things start to go our way. Most of the people who have no cosmic consciousness will fully believe that Obama is responsible for the economy when it's actually a higher order that has forced him down the ground and helped him up, so to speak. So you have got a lot of good things to look for into the future for 2012.
Thank you so much.
My sure pleasure, honey.
Thank you, Louis. Just one more quick question. before we take a break. I really hope you're right, Louis, but I mean, it's hard to tell because a lot of researchers are thinking something else, but I really hope you're right. The thing I try to reconcile is you talk about cycles in predictions and the past repeating itself.
Indeed.
What if there's many cycles at play? For example, the US has its birth date, and that has a cycle, but the Earth has a birth date and that has a cycle, and the Sun, and Carl Kellerman talks about the galactic cycle. Couldn't larger cycles affect smaller cycles, and hence that could deter your predictions or general predictions?
No, really, because this solar system is set like a radio station. You could turn the knob on your radio station, AM or FM, and you're going to captivate under a certain amount of megahertz. If you're too far, then the energy that are past this solar system cannot interfere or alter the affairs of this world. This world is touched only by the celestial family, which is neighboring or making up our solar system. And the timing that I have so far has to be investigated. You have the date on your website. There will be probably quite a lot of discussion when comes those dates and when my prediction, as always, will transpire. And I'm saying this not on an egocentrical point of view, but as a firm confidence of my past that has proven me to be accurate each time. So now it comes down to it's me to know and you to find out by just being patient and investigate my work.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Turi. What we'll do is we'll just have a quick 2-minute break, and we've got another 5 or 6 to go, and then we'll finish off. So, 2-minute break.
Thank you, Jill.
Okay, welcome back to the WebBot Forum interview with Dr. Turi. His website is drturi.com. Okay, we've just got some general questions we're finishing up on. Dr. Turi, as life evolves, it grows. Humans grow from a baby to an adult. Plants grow from a seed. Are you familiar with the expanding Earth model? And if so, what do you think of it, especially quick growth and cataclysmic growth?
Well, we are in a time that is regulated by the over-speedy planet of Uranus, which is what Art Bell called the lightning, the quickening, if I may use those words. And it seems to be humanity is on a void of course, if you understand that word, which means when the moon is about to change sign, the moon get the characteristics of the two signs at the same time. So this is where humanity is at, between the deceiving religious Pisces energy, which and its rulership for the last 2,000 years, and the next 2,000 years, which are going to be extraordinarily fast in terms of all sorts of human accomplishments. So I would go for the speedy energy, as far as I understand it. Yes.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Turi. We've got another question from Patrick. Patrick, can you ask your question of Dr. Turi, please?
Yes, Dr. Turi, somewhere in your writings you state that the big problem we have in the world nowadays is that organized religions want to convert the rest of the world to their particular faith, with over 875 different denominations with their variety of deities, prophets, and gurus. You say it's like a huge sewer with different pipes, and at the end we all drown into stupidity, hate, fear, ignorance, terrorism, unthinkable pain, horrendous suffering, wars, and ultimately death. No intelligent man should endorse, promote, or support anything that in the end kills. Now your stance initially reminds me of a Gnostic, one that recognizes the Abrahamic religions as controlling and dogmatic in nature. Can you share with us your sense of God, spirituality, and your understanding of where we are and where we came from?
Sure, but basically you have to remember one thing. God never came down and wrote no books. Okay? Men created those 875 different denominations. Then, furthermore, the true ministry of Jesus, when he was walking the street of Israel,